YouTube, what's going on? Not much going on here. Just I've been crushing my local Walmart lately. So I was at Walmart by my work the other day, and dude beat me to the pegs. There was one of these hanging there. He had it in his hand, and when he realized I wanted one, I mean I didn't like ask him for it or anything. I was just like, oh, are there any more of those? He's like, no, but I already have it. So here you can have this one. So, um, this is not a lot of that in this hobby. I'm going to shout him out. He's on Instagram, Chevy underscore OGS. I appreciate you doing that. And then on Instagram, well, I'll get to that in just a second. So, anyway, so I got this. A really nice casting, heavy, metal on metal. Nice Dodge truck. Today at my local Walmart to my house, I found this, which is okay. Would have been better, all orange, no black, and headlights and taillights. But instead, they give us this subpar looking Honda Civic. Anyways, I got that one, and then I got this. This one makes me happy because I brought 90 of these home. So I have 89 mint on card, pretty close to mint on card. 60 of them are available for sale. I would take 130 shipped, lower 48. They're $1.27 a piece, so I'm not making a lot of money at that price. But if anybody's interested, I know all you scalper hater crybabies are going to boo-hoo and pee your pants over it, and I just don't care. But anybody else, if you need a yellow Civic, holler at me. But I'm really only selling quantity, so don't holler at me if you're just looking for one. But if you want 10 or 20 or 60, give me a holler. I'll make you a deal. I don't know why this thing is so popular. It's ugly. I mean, here. $1.27, 94 cents. No question. This one you have the dual overhead cam graphic with the VTEC graphic. You've got headlights and indicators with the Honda badge. This one you get nothing but ugly graphics. I just hate when Hot Wheels does that. Alright. Another Instagram shout out here for J Carb Diecast. That's JCARDIECAST on Instagram. If you guys remember, a few months back, he is the source for pretty much all of the TRD Bishop exclusive Land Cruisers that hit the US. He's all sold out. They're selling now for around $100. But, you know, you guys, I found a couple of supers the other night at my Walmart, and I made a little trade with him because I don't care for supers at all. So we're going to take a look at the awesomeness that he sent me. Wow, these are so cool, man. Love it. I love detailed diecast like this. Oh, that looks so awesome. I don't know which one to start with. Let's start with this one. Alright, I don't know what these are limited to. I've never seen these until I went to his website. And I just had to have this. Couldn't care less for this Skyline. I think Johnny does a nice job with the tooling, but they totally screwed up the base and the stance. And kind of like what I talked about in last night's video, a bad stance will ruin a diecast car. But here are some important facts. The Skyline GTR BNR 34 is one of the most sought after import cars. The nickname Godzilla originated with the 1990 Nissan Skyline GTR BNR 32. Let's see here. The 240SX is still one of the most popular drift cars of today due to its rear-wheel drive S platform. That car right there is why I made the trade. Couldn't care less about the Skyline. I wanted the Nissan 240SX Custom. You know, the import heat line is so hit and miss. And we'll talk a little bit about that too. So first thing we'll do is we'll look at this R34. Unlike the Greenlight, this one does not have an opening hood. It has plastic tires. You know, like I said, the casting itself is not bad, but it's just the stance that's awful. And plastic tires is unacceptable. I think these are like $12 to $15 at retail for the 2-pack. And at that price, you should for sure be getting rubber tires. So anyways, not much to get excited about. That one will be available for trade or sale. But this one won't. 1992 Nissan 240SX Custom. I'm really worried about the top. This thing looks fantastic. I've never seen this car before. You know, I've had a lot of Johnnies in my collection, and I've never even come across this tooling. And it's pretty stellar. I mean, I don't know how much better than that you could get. It's probably pretty scale accurate too. So let's do this. I'll leave the tripod up because we're gonna have to go back to it here in a second. But the stance on the car looks pretty good for 1 to 64. I think ideally you'd like it to be a little bit lower, but I gotta tell you, by Johnny Lightning standards, this stance is probably as good as I've seen. Then you've got the Bridgestone tires, which, you know, this tire stamping is a little bit off on a couple of the tires. Not terrible. Rear defrost, just talked about that in a video that I have not uploaded yet. Up to code, very nice taillight detail. It's a really cool color. You got your front end turn indicators. I love this car. It's very nicely proportioned. Couple of imperfections there on that front tire. Other than that, it looks really good. Really nice rolling car. I might have traded the Super by itself for this. Well, I probably wouldn't have. I probably would have sold it and then bought this and something else, which is basically what I did. So anyways, well, here, before we go back to that, I don't remember, because I don't think Hot Wheels, yeah, they do. So here's a 96 Nissan 180, and here's a 92 Nissan 240. both look really good. Obviously, the Johnny is much nicer. It's a much higher level of detail. And the Hot Wheels definitely doesn't look like that when it comes out of the package. But a simple wheel swap, that's all you need. I think theoretically the 180, I think these cars are actually pretty close to the same size in actual 1-to-1 scale. But clearly the Johnny is a little bit smaller. Typically Johnny Lightning run a little bit small. But in the case of this CRX, this is at least 1-to-55 scale. It's a nice little car. It's got excellent detail. But they butchered the scale on it. Like, I don't mind a little bit big or a little bit small, but this is a lot big. This one here, I would say, is probably pretty darn close to 1-to-64. But I absolutely love this car. I'm so happy to have that. All right, now we're going to look at one more. And this next one is it's an entirely new brand for me. Never heard of it, never seen it. I gotta cut it up. It reminds me a lot of Greenlight. I almost wonder if Greenlight is involved somehow, because the packaging is just like Greenlight. The wheels and the details on the car just looks a lot like Greenlight. Anyways, 1-to-64 scale Mini GT Honda Civic Type R. Only 6,000 of these made. And he has these, I think, for $7.99 on his website. So you get a really cool little box here. I wish they would make these boxes look like shipping containers. That would be awesome. All right, well, let's take a look at this car. I think just like Auto World, the plastic does fit in the box. Or maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's a little long. That's a bummer if it doesn't. It should. Yeah, this thing is pretty amazing. So it's a metal body with a metal base, rubber tires with tread. The build quality and the feel of the car and the look of the wheels and the packaging, all of these things remind me a lot of Greenlight. It's a beautifully done car. I think the stance and the proportions are a lot better than what you get with Greenlight. But a lot of other things about the car remind me of Greenlight. Look at those headlights. LED. Got the Honda badge. Got all that red trim around the around the wheels and the rocker panel. Side view mirrors. It's a dark color. My camera, we all know, struggles with dark colors. Really nice roller. The base is kind of interesting. That almost looks like a Revell base. And here you go, more rear defrost. The back end detail on this is phenomenal. Transparent lens taillights with reverse lights. I mean, for the price he's selling these for, there is just a ton of detail. These should probably, with the amount of detail that I'm seeing here, I would think this would be around a $12 price point. But the market dictates all of that, so all I know is I'm very happy to have this car. I love getting import diecast like this. And to get these two awesome JDM cars, if you want to call them JDM. I don't know that I would. Well, yeah, they're probably both JDM, although they're not exclusively JDM, because both of these cars were available here in the US. The Civic still is. I'm sorry, I would take these two over a Super any day of the week, unless it's a Datsun wagon or a Skyline or something like that. So there you go, 17 minutes in. That's my video for today. I'm working on a diorama, another one, for a fellow Instagrammer. It will not be this size. It will not be even close to this size. But I'm going to try to pack. I have to ship it, so it can't be this size. I'm going to try to get as much detail into it as I possibly can. So I'm going to go get back to work on that on this awesome 3-day weekend. Happy Labor Day. And I will holler at you all later on. If you guys want 60 of these, I've got 60 of them available. Holler at me on Instagram. Have a good weekend.